when I'm feeling a bit better, or at least a bit more positive, I am planning on doing a series of videos about sensible coping mechanisms that don't include alcoholism and other unhealthy ways of dealing with your pain. What I'd like to do now is I would really like to show you my crystal chakra set. I know I've showed crystals before. Chakra meditation and visualization is one of my pain management methods that I use a lot. I listen to a lot of tranquil, peaceful, sound of the sea type music, the type of music you get in health spas and things. And I lie down and I visualize. I do the spinning vortex visualization, the black and white rose visualization. I'm sure that is it in the UK. That is an absolute favourite with pain clinics. It's where you close your eyes, you visualise a white rose on a black background, and then using your mind and using your concentration, you change it to a black rose on a white background, and you keep flipping it through until you finally make it red, and then you have to decide what colour the background is once it's become red. And it's just a way to, take your mind off things, to concentrate on something really random, and that's kind of that aspect of things. That's kind of your introduction, if you like, to visualisation and meditation through the NHS. Or at least I got it from my pain clinic when I first went for my psych evaluation, if you like. Now, if you want to know anything about crystals or chakras, you need to go and check out Witch on the Rocks. She's incredible, absolutely incredible, love her to bits. And I have been keeping a Book of Shadows / spiritual diary on the other side of my journal. And in there I've just got, my favourite crystals, all of the chakras, which stones correspond to which chakra, which stones correspond to which of the elements, the properties of all of the crystals. I mean, I've been collecting crystals now, must be about 15 months. I have a lot. I have a lot of tumbled stones, I have a lot of rough stones. I have the most beautiful piece coming from Witch on the Rocks' shop. I've bought quite a lot of stuff from her shop already. Yeah, it is a passion of mine, and it's a very legitimate way I manage my pain. I always have crystals in my pockets. I always have my MP3 player with me with that music. I always have certain crystals under my pillow, in my bed, stuff like that. It's just a management. It's a way of my life now. It just is. So, chakras. You've got your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. They all have a different corresponding colour, and the way that you cleanse your chakra, if you like, is through visualization of your chakra colour, focusing on it, letting it become brighter, and fill yourself with warmth. It's all about real intent. That's what Sam said. It's about intent and determination and clearing your mind of everything else, and the crystals help. So I've got a few crystals for each of the chakras. I rarely do a full body chakra session, I tend to favour my sacral and solar plexus chakras, because I feel that's where I have the most problems. I have the most work to do, and I feel the best for focusing on that. If you imagine your chakras as a line going from where you sit to the top of your head, the lower you are is the more earthly it is, more about self, grounding, the foundations of you, if you like. And as you work your way up through the chakras, it becomes more of a spiritual awareness. Your emotional centre is your solar plexus, and it is that midpoint, if you like, the midpoint in your body where your being meets the world around you. The world around you in terms of our world, in terms of the spirit world. And it is your solar plexus is the chakra that's responsible for your mental stability, because higher up towards your head is more of a spiritual awareness. Anyway, I'm just going to go through my chakra set then. That makes sense to me. I have the greatest intent when I'm focusing on my emotional stability. The connection between me and the earth, the connection between me, my emotions, and my grounding centre. So this is my gorgeous hematite thumbstone. It is just smaller than the palm, well, it's a lot smaller than the palm of my hand, but it's small enough to completely be enclosed in my hand. I love this. It's always really cold to the touch, hematite. It's a beautiful polished piece. It's a great shape. And you can either lay this on top of your pubic bone for your root chakra. Sometimes I just sit on it. An alternative to hematite, along with tourmaline and lots of other stuff, is bloodstone. I don't know whether you can see, because the light's not... Oh, that's a better light. There you go. You can see it's kind of dark with lighter spots, and it's got red in it, which is why it's called bloodstone, funny enough. And again, it's just a great grounding stone. Absolutely love it. And this is a... it's called a thumb stone because it is the perfect size to hold between your thumb and first finger. Now I have quite a few of these. They're all the same shape. Now I know that Witch on the Rocks doesn't like stones that all feel the same, but I've got 5 of these. I've got a lapis lazuli, a jade, amazonite, bloodstone, and a carnelian. And in fairness, I can't really sense the difference between the green ones, because they seem to feel the same to me. But this carnelian, I absolutely love it, and it doesn't matter where it is, I can always tell which one the carnelian is. It's very odd. I know it has a different pulse to the rest of them, but this is the only one of all of my stones that I can always identify. I just have a complete and utter connection to my carnelian. It's very odd, but I carry this around with me everywhere. Always, always, always. So this is a carnelian thumbstone. I am now looking for a rough piece of carnelian, because I would love something with a bit more character. I've got a pendulum, a carnelian pendulum, but it's so dark. It's so dark orange, and what I love about this is the light and shade, and it's probably a bit better to look at it on that side, and it's just lovely. I love that piece. The solar plexus and the sacral chakras kind of have a similar colour, orangey yellowy-ness. So usually you can use the same stones for both chakras. So depending on how I'm feeling, I will either have a carnelian or a citrine and a carnelian on those two chakras. So here's this beautiful piece. Actually, this looks whiter in the camera than it actually is. It's a lot more yellow. I have this beautiful citrine point that has a lovely, if you see there, it's got a key in it, and it sits perfectly in your hand like that. If you hold it almost like a pencil, it just feels lovely, and that's called a key. If it's got a way that you can hold it, if it's got a groove that feels like it was made for your hand, and I'm very connected to this piece. I then also have a soft tumble piece that I sleep with, because obviously I don't want to roll onto that and get that stabbing me head on. But yeah, again, it looks a lot whiter on the camera than it is. It's actually very yellow. But yeah, just lovely pieces of citrine. So as I said, those two are for the sacral and solar plexus chakras, and I kind of see how the feeling takes me. What needs more attention, I'll normally put the rough citrine on, whatever needs more work. I then have this absolutely beautiful piece of aventurine, which is through the heart chakra. The heart chakra can be pink or green. I'm really not a fan of rose quartz. I know it's the classic heart chakra piece, and it's for love and self-love and self-acceptance, but I have a beautiful big rough piece, and I just don't connect with it. This, on the other hand, has like I don't know if you can see, it has a completely flat side on this side, and it has like a point on this side. It's almost like a triangle shape, like that. There you go, you can see that. And so this, actually, the flat side sits beautifully on my chest, and it will slip just underneath the centre of my bra. And I absolutely love it for that reason. It does seem to fit. It fits me in the same way that the key fits in my hand. This seems to fit on my chest. Absolutely love it. So that's my my piece for my heart chakra. The throat chakra is all about communication. Unsurprisingly enough, where your voice box is. This isn't complex stuff. It's brilliant. And I have a piece of lapis lazuli or sodalite. Now, sodalite is a great antidepressant stone, and it also is good for clarity in communication. So this is my piece of choice. Again, it's quite an odd shape. It is tumbled, so it is smooth, but it is a peculiar shape. And again, when I'm lying down, if you just pop it in here, it does just seem to sit quite happily in a number of orientations. Check out Witch on the Rocks shop, witchontherocks.com. Great store. And she also sells starter chakra sets. Third eye chakra is this one here, and this is to do with your metaphysical ability, your openness to the spirit world, that kind of thing. Now, traditionally, the chakra is indigo. Indigo. And so amethyst is classically the best stone. Now, I do have a really rough amethyst point, but it's a bit big, so I left it in the other room. But this is like a teardrop. It's a teardrop tumbled piece, and I am very fond of this. It is banded as well, and I do love banded amethyst. And again, it's got a flat piece on one side and a rounded side, and I like that about tumbled stones. I like them to have a flat side. So there's amethyst. I've also got this most incredible piece of tumbled labradorite. Now, you should see, you can see it there a little bit. There's this entire piece is just one big flash. The joy of labradorite is that it is quite a dull stone until you catch it in the right light, and it's just absolutely stunning, which is why it's favoured for its metaphysical properties, because it's a magical stone, and it is supposed to be the best one for doing magic. I then also have this absolutely stunning agate eye. Now, generally speaking, agate isn't great for the third eye unless it's purple. But the symbol of the agate eye, which is just a banded piece of agate, so it looks like an eyeball, right? It is supposed to be great for divination. Obviously one's bigger than this, so sometimes used instead of crystal balls. It's great for divination, it's great for your susceptibility to metaphysical events and spirituality and stuff. So I sometimes use that for my third eye chakra. Crown chakra, top of your head, spiritualness. And there's only ever one crystal for that for me, and it is clear quartz. Now this is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful clear quartz point that Sam sent me when I bought the Shiva eyes, actually. Yeah, that's my favourite one. This is actually my smallest piece of quartz. I have two much bigger points that I'm very fond of, but they are underneath my pillow. I sleep with one under my pillow, one above the head of my bed, and I also sleep with selenite under my pillow as well. Now, completely unrelated to the chakra stones, I also have two other favourite stones. I have this dark moonstone, which again I bought from Sam's shop a while ago, actually. It must have been about a year ago. And what I love about this dark moonstone is that it's very layered. Some layers you can partly see through and it looks like a piece of jewellery, and some layers are completely opaque. So some of it you can see through, some of it you can't, but it's beautiful black and grey, and it's just beautiful. And this is something that I bought recently. Now, I have a lovely story about this. This is ruby and fuchsite. It's a wand. And I bought this, actually that's a lie, I didn't buy it. I got this as a free gift for being a regular buyer from an eBay seller. And I took this with me a couple of weeks ago when I had some facet joint injections, and I didn't have any sedation for them, and I don't normally, but I normally have a bit of a freak out at some point during an injection procedure, because I've had a couple of really bad experiences where, as they've been putting the needles into my spine, they've kind of bounced off my fusion site, and it kind of feels, nails on a blackboard, that kind of, oh, but where the needle has kind of scraped the metalwork in my back, it's just made me feel really horrible, so I get quite nervous before having needles put in my back now. Now, I held on to this for dear life for all of the time that I was on the table and I was in the CT scanner and everything. It was great. And I stayed calmer this time than I ever have done before. I don't know whether it's the actual crystal, I don't know if it is the vibration, whatever. It's my ability to meditate, my ability to visualize. It's me. These are just tools. These are just something for me to focus on. And that's all I want to say about crystals. They're pretty to look at. They feel nice in your hand. And colour is magic. Colour changes your mood. It doesn't matter what the stone is. It doesn't matter what the actual vibration is. It doesn't matter whether you believe in it or not. I use it to focus. When everything is completely out of control, I'm in control of no aspect of my life. I don't determine when I come home because I need a lift. I don't determine anything. Everything is governed by my pain, apart from what I eat and my ability to think. But sometimes that is driven by pain, not necessarily governed, driven. This is all about my ability, my power, the power of my mind. doesn't matter about the properties. And Sam can disagree with me. I know she knows that I think she's incredible. I'm wittering now. I'm going to leave it there. Just a little insight into one of my pain management techniques. I will speak to you soon.